Good morning, SourceFed Nerdians. Sword Art Online! It's actually very early where I am, and I probably just woke up my roommates with that, but they can deal with it because this is Sword Art Online and this matters. In all seriousness, this is actually one of my favorite games I've watched. Or at least Season 1. Season 2 sucked. Being a longtime gamer, I actually really enjoyed the story. The idea of being able to fully immerse yourself in a game is actually new and pretty intriguing. And honestly, I don't think many TV shows or series have been able to do this effectively. Dot hack! Shut up, Peanut Gallery. But seriously, I really do think that this idea lends itself to creating a great story. Haha, the story now. So in all good honesty, I don't really want to go too far into the story because I know a lot of people only probably watched the first episode or two and didn't really have time to get through a large part of the series. But to give you a basic idea without really having to go into details and ruining the show for you, it's basically swords, boss fights, and this strange main character who has trust issues, but somehow just magically gets rid of them. Seriously though, the main character, Kirito, has serious trust issues, and you can kind of see this in the beginning of the show, in the very first episode where he's talking to Klein, but this doesn't really get better until almost all the way through the entire first season. It's really kind of weird to watch how this guy, for no real reason at all, is a total loner. They do try to give it a little bit of explanation partway through the series, but honestly, I'm not going to go too far into that. I want you guys to watch it. No spoilers. The other thing that I like about this is that it's a game with no magic in it, which is very interesting for an online game. It's entirely sword fighting, which is very unique to the gaming industry. You don't see very many games that don't have some kind of magic thrown in there somewhere. I actually think this is really quite refreshing for the gaming genre. Personally, I'm getting really tired of seeing people, shoot fireballs or lightning at other people. What is this, Avatar? Thirdly, and I think most importantly for this series, are the boss fights. I don't know who created this anime, but damn, they did an amazing job on the boss fights. They really know how to make those. For anybody who watched the first two episodes, you probably know that very first boss. It was an alright boss fight. It was pretty cool. The graphics on it were very, very unique. But these boss fights get even better than that, especially when you're talking about things like the Gleam Eyes. Get there. Episode 9, it's awesome. The thing that I think they did the best, though, about this anime is how people react to being trapped in this game and fighting for their lives. At first, you just see utter panic on everyone. It's exactly how I would think most people would react when put through a life or death situation. You see these military factions split up. They call them clans, which is very similar to gaming. And you also see how they kind of have a command structure, which is also very similar to many gaming clan. But what's really interesting, though, is that as time goes on, a lot of the people in the game seem to be okay with not really trying to win the game anymore. As you'll see later on in the show, a lot of people open up shops and don't really seem to be fighting on the front lines so much as just kind of running a business and going about their day-to-day lives in this virtual world. It's almost as if they've kind of given up on the real world and would rather just stay here for the rest of their lives. But then you have characters like the main characters, Kirito and Asuna, who are fighting not only to get out of the game themselves, but they constantly remind us that they're fighting for everyone. You still have these characters that have this goal in sight of wanting to escape this game and returning to their real life. And holding on to that goal, that dream of returning to reality, is what keeps them human. Whereas most of these characters who just start, opening shops or living at random houses and doing nothing, they become more like the game than like people. It's a very interesting perspective on the future of gaming, and I really think that they're kind of taking the next step, and we've already seen these next steps starting to happen in our work. For example, the Oculus Rift, that new virtual reality thing where you strap the helmet onto your face, it's already starting to do this kind of tech where you try and immerse yourself as much as you can in the game, and they've even set up like a station for it where you can run in place, carry a video game rifle, and they're trying to immerse you in these new games, and it feels like they're really just taking a page out of the Sword Art Online playbook. Anyway, that's my review of Sword Art Online. Honestly, this is my favorite anime that I've ever watched. At least season 1 is. Season 2 was really bad. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. But yeah, watch season 1. It's an amazing anime. It's really fun. Lots of sword fights, great boss fights. And it's 7:15. I'm going to be